Welcome everyone to another stream from UGS. Today we are gonna have a programming stream. As per usual, on Fridays we tend to have game development, and as it happens, it's programming time. And obviously, to start the stream big, thank you very much Gundrop for the 3-month subscription. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. It's really a bang to start the stream like that. Thank you. And before we start programming, why not talk about a little bit more of ourselves for those who haven't, know us for that too long. So we are a small group per se. Let's just say not a company, but we are an indie game development group, We are 4 devs trying to accomplish the dream of game development, and right now we are developing a little game called Droian. The thing is, as you have noticed, our title has a little bit of an history of how our development has been going on, meaning we have been developing this game on Unity, but if you haven't seen the news about Unity lately, well, let's just say that you have the need to start porting this game to another probably excellent game engine, which is Godot. So yes, we are porting this game to Godot, but we have other things behind, meaning this is not the only project that we have. We have other projects that, are in the back burner, let's just say, which is Xaria and Red Run. Actually, Red Run was developed in Unity. This is an alpha version, per se. None of these games are full-fledged released games. They are just alpha versions. And this Xaria available on our itch.io page, which, by the way, it's the alpha for our game. Xaria was developed in JavaScript using a P5 library, but we have developed the current version of Xaria using the same engine that we are using today, which is Godot. Although it was an older version of 3.5, if I believe correctly. But we are now developing Droian on 4.2, and I will come really soon to that. So meaning, if you want to try our alphas for Xaria and Red Run, and you can do it on our itch.io page, so ugs.itch.io/Xaria for trying Xaria, or Red Run for trying Red Run. You can always just visit the main page, and you can also see Droian in there. Although Droian, it's not, let's just say the demo is not available yet. Soon, TM, as we like to say that. But there you go. A little plugin for this thing. Although Xaria, the alpha version of Xaria is in JavaScript, you can see the development in Godot on our other platforms, mainly YouTube and as well in here on Twitch. I believe there's VODs available to watch that. But without further ado, let's start, or per se continue, the development of Droian. Yes, indeed. So before we start, let's not forget about the music. Per usual, the music is the usual copyright. It's not copyright free, but I own the right to play this music on stream, so no problems on that front. I believe the volume from the music may be right. Let's just not mess around too much with it. It's the same values that I have in the previous stream. Another great news, I'm not dropping frames. I actually have 0.0% frames drop, which is very excellent. So I believe there's not a single problem unlike the previous stream. Fingers crossed. 3 knocks on wood. And I believe we can start our development, shall we? So it's smooth AF, yes indeed. So let's go. For those of you who are remembering what's have happened in the previous stream, we have basically developing movement already. There's wall jump in here. There's, you know, hovering, you know, jumping while hovering. There's no multiple jumpings to infinity and beyond, you know. There's this little trick that you can do a double jump if you hover, but not that many because you have the cooldowns. We haven't developed a UI to see them, but you know, maybe in the future. And we have developed something that we ended up the stream as usual, you know, with a bug, which is the firing feature. And obviously I have shown that already as fixed on another end. Let's just try to go to this place because this is where we have ended up in our previous stream. So 2 weeks before, we have seen that I already made the bullets or the projectiles fire in one direction, you know. But as you can see, I can now fire back. Not only that, I can fire in mid-air. And to add things up, I have also developed the animation to make them, you know, explode and detect collision, you know. They not only detect collision with the wall, well, they probably detect collision with anything for now, you know. So you can see in here it basically detects anything. So if it collides with something, it basically stops moving and plays the animation of death, and then after the explosion goes away, it's, you know, queue free, you know. Well, in here is where we can add, you know, damage to enemies if it collides with enemies, so on and so forth, things like that. But this is not exactly finished, you know. Hell yeah, this is nice, yes indeed. The problem has been fixed. The thing is, it's not entirely fixed or developed as we intended. To start, we still have unlimited munition. So if I so desire, I can basically shoot as many bullets as I can. Not only that, I can also spam fire. Let's just try fire as much bullets as I can. So as you can see, I can fire a lot of bullets at once, you know. And that's something that we kinda don't want to. So, to start off, we want a counter. We want a counter that basically is going to limit the amount of bullets that we can fire at once. Yeah, that needs a tiny cooldown between them, exactly. So first we need to add the amount of projectiles that we can shoot. So let's just stick with the 3 that we have shoot in our previous prototype, let's just say that, the prototype that we have made in Unity. And then as Pixel John has said in the chat, also adding a little cooldown, so we just don't spam the bullets as we wish, you know? So let's just do that. Before we do that, there's this debug thing which is created. This is just for me to know that projectile has been created, you know? So print created. This is unnecessary. Let's just say that. We don't need this in here. Now, you are probably seeing this projectile holder. This is going to be useful later for optimization, meaning right now I'm just instantiating every single projectile and then getting rid of it. Simple code, it works. This is going to be a 2D pixel art game, so it's not heavy on performance. But it's kinda, let's just say, good programming practice to just not being creating random objects and destroying them right after if we are going to create multiple of them, you know? So basically I can just create them once and then reuse them as much as it needs, instead of just creating and destroying them. But that's just something for later. Right now we just need to, let's just say, do the things that we have right now. A good practice, my greatest weakness. Not just yours, but everyone's weakness, let's just say that. Even mine. So, this is projectile code. We don't want that, we want the player controller. And by the way, I haven't said a thing right now, but for those of you that have been following the development of this game, we have upgraded to Godot 4.2 stable edition, yes indeed, because previously we have started this development on 4.2 beta because of the development of the tile set, new features and whatnot. We have encountered some smaller bugs, but rest assured we have evolved as good practice of game development and, well, programming in general indicates to not use any beta software for a full product, and we are now using a stable version of Godot. Yes indeed. Let's just open Edge, because why not? And go to Godot website. I don't want tile sets or anything. I believe it was yesterday that the Godot has released the 4.2 stable. So yes indeed, we are hopefully developing in a platform rid of most bugs. Yes indeed. So right now if you go to the Godot page and download the latest version, it will be the 4.2 stable edition. Yes indeed. There's notes and whatnot if you want to follow that. But yeah, we are now on the latest version, stable edition. There you go. In here you can read 4.2 stable, which is pretty cool. Now, going back to scripting, shall we? Let's just say, hell yeah. I like that version number. Yes, I see what you are doing. Do we have? No, we don't, but you know, we always love the memes in here, and obviously we can't forget the 420. Yes, indeed. So, with that said, I'm just gonna reload thing to clear this. Let's just see the part that we shoot a projectile, shall we? So, I have revised the code a little bit as well, by process and physics process. So it's also good practice in game development to separate the where you read the input and when you apply it. So, meaning collisions and movements should be applied on the physics process, which is when the physics is calculated in game. But inputs should be processed as soon as possible, and that is made on process delta. Basically, the difference between the two is, well, process runs per frame. Well, in game engine name it's runs per tick, and one tick creates one frame. But the physics process it's different. The physics process calculates every single physics calculation per a specific time in microseconds, if I not mistaken. So it's the advantage of that. It's not having your physics stuck with frame rates, which is a very mistake to do. Todd, for those who know Pedesta memes. So what we want to avoid is basically if our character is looking to the ground to become Sonic and go fast. We don't want that. We want to, have a stable velocity. And we can achieve that by using and calculating the movement on physics process. Yes, we can apply physics, we can apply movement in the process as well using the delta, because delta is basically the calculation between the time spent from one frame to another, and if we multiply the velocity by delta, it's basically we create a very stable velocity and constants. But physics and colliders is basically calculated on the physics process, and if we are applying the movement per frame but the collision is done in a different way, basically we could create a state where our character will basically run into a wall, and instead of being stuck in here, we'll do this small trembling of trying to go through the wall, And this is basically something that if we apply the movement on the physics process, it will not happen. We'll just basically calculate the collision, it's colliding, so it's not moving. There you go, a small tip for you. Now, what we were doing, obviously we have gone off topic. So yes, going back to our fire thing. So we have in here the handling of jumping and the handling of fire with the respective inputs, the A and B. So we fire on A. So, excuse me, we fire on A and jump on B. So by firing on A, we basically need to read the amount of bullets of projectiles we can fire. So, yes, the vibrator phenomenon. I have caused that to happen so many times in Unity before, yes. And, now you know. Which is something that a lot of developers came to. And that is something that especially YouTube tutorials used to fail. Because there is a lot of tutorials made on YouTube, and a lot of them are made by people that lack that knowledge. Let's just say that. There is a lot of great tutorials on YouTube, and there is some that lack that knowledge, So that's why I always recommend you to follow a lot of different tutorials, so you learn some trick and tips from other people, It's always important for you to have broad knowledge from multiple people and learn from multiple sources. So, you're not only training your knowledge, you may learn new stuff, with that said, let's just search for what we are trying to accomplish, you know. Tricks and kickflip X. And kickflip X. I might be understanding the thing of flipping the thing in here of the player. Let me see if I did that in here, because I believe I have done something in here, but I don't think I have done the flip on X trick in here, as I recall. Let's see the movement. So in the movement I've done this, the up is over the thing, doesn't matter, but in here, let me see. So there's that, there's the over, there's on wall, there's direction, and yeah, there's the flip thing in here. And I basically flip the animated sprite. Yep. In here I don't use the flip X feature. So some of you might be wondering what I'm talking about. So basically, let's just show it, because why not? Basically, we have a sprite, right? So let's just say the player, and we have a sprite. And we can use the trick to make it, you know, show an animation that it's going to another side. So, as you can see, the character flips, or basically the image flips if I'm going on an opposite direction, right? And we can basically achieve that by using the flip function of our sprite. In this case, the animated sprite has the flip X, you know, somewhere in here. In this case, it's flip H and V on Godot. And we can basically do this trick in here. But I have an even better trick up my sleeve. So let's just see. I was just trying to sound stupid, though the way I wrote I wasn't referring to anything in particular. But it's good that you got that flip working. I can't wait to see the sprites animated, but I understand you want to finish this shooty first. Ah, I see. Well, you tried to sound stupid, but actually you didn't. Yes, indeed, because you, maybe something on your subconscious. You may have remembered that I also teach this simple trick on Unity as well, you know, when we didn't use the flip X. Yes, talent. So let's just say I could flip the sprite using this, but I'm not. Why I'm doing that? So let's just say we have a projectile or a spot that we want to spawn our bullets, our projectile. And it's in front of our character, you know, which is this. But if we are looking into the other direction, this thing in here, this projectile out, should be looking on the other side. Now we could just use another, duplicate this one, and basically create code to check if we are looking forward or backwards, and select that the back projectile if we are looking backwards, or selecting the front projectile if we are looking forward. But there is even better thing to do. Basically, we can attach this projectile out to the animated sprite, and I believe I'm doing this in code because of some Godot bugs. I don't know where, but I'm doing that. Somewhere in here, there you go. Basically, it's probably... no, I am not. Forget that. So basically, in Godot, I have encountered a bug that if I put the projectile inside the the animated sprite, and I just reverse the scale, so if I just reverse the scale on X, I achieved the split as well. And let's just show it in here. So if projectile out will be a child of animated sprite, and then I would reverse the scale on the animated sprite, you can see the projectile out will be on the correct side. That was what I was trying to accomplish. But the thing is, there is some bugs that didn't... Well, let's just say the projectile out didn't follow the animated sprite scale flip when I was trying to developing this feature, and I have worked around to fix this bug by, you know, reading if the animated sprite is flip, and if it is flip, then I can just shoot the projectile in the correct X position. Yeah, bug fixing as well, that I have been doing off stream, you know, because yes, I sometimes work on off stream as well. Yes, he's a subconscious genius. I just need to figure out how to bring it to the conscious. That's the smart technique for that direction of the bullet. Nice. Yeah, yes, it's a workaround, let's just say that. Now, finally, let's just go with the thing that we are trying to accomplish. So let's just search for something in here that resembles the projectile that we want to use. So right now we have this. I will do this in here. Let's just comment the mine, because we are not using the mine right now. And let's just create something. So I want a var. In here I want the ammo. Well, let's just say it's an integer and it's equals to... Let's just create another thing. It is... Let's just see ammo underscore max. And let's just use 3. And in here, the ammunition will start the same value as the maximum of ammunition that you can use. So if we start to have 3 maximum ammunition, then we start the game with this. Now I'm going to change this with save datas and so on in the future, but right now that's enough. Obviously we want this to be something that we can change on the export, so we have that on the inspector window. And yeah, that's this. Now, with this in here, we can go down here and basically see if we press the fire button and the ammo is bigger than 0, which means we have some ammo. And if that's the case, ammo. Can I do that? No, I can't. God damn it. So minus equals 1. Can I do this? Yes, I can. Fantastic. Excellent. This is starting to... you know, crapping itself because of some indentation. But that's it for now. There is a reason this is indented in this way, because this is basically the function that I'm going to use to create mine as well, hopefully in this stream. So, with this code out of the way, we can probably, you know, fire 3 projectiles. Let's try. 1, 2, 3. And supposedly you don't have any more. Excellent. Obviously I don't have any game debug button that we can just use to, you know, reload the amount of ammo that we have, you know. So we have 3 and no more than those 3. So I'm just going to create a debug input, just so we can reload the ammo for debug purpose, shall we? It can be in here, so let's just create a comment in here, debug reload. Debug reload ammo, because why not? And if input dot is action just press it, and we can we have some keyboard, you know, or do I have to just create a button? I believe this is not is action pressed. Let me see. Is button pressed? Do we have that? Like a key just pressed. Like key. Label pressed is physical key pressed. It doesn't matter. R key underscore R. Start what we want. Bravo. And ammo will be equals to ammo max. Let's see. Hello there. Welcome back. Welcome back. So how's it going? How's it going? Yes indeed. Well, we are developing Droian today. Well, we are actually developing Droian almost all the time, with the exceptions of Wednesday, when we just, you know, we are definitely not playing, you know, we are research other reference. Let's just, yeah, it's definitely working, you know, research. But yes, now, today we are actually working, developing Droian, our game, you know. So pretty good here, chill evening. Yes indeed, glad to know that. Having a chill time is always good time. Hey man, researching video games is important. Yes indeed, it's always important. We should always research, you know, having our game up to date, you know, in terms of reference. Yes indeed. But well, let's just come back to what we were doing. So our limit of 3 projectiles has been set, and if I press the R button, the reload works. So if we end up needing. We can just press R and just reload the amount of bullets that you can fire. Not only that, I can just press R and just have unlimited bullets if needs be, you know? If there's a need to kill a boss pretty fast, you know? But we have this limit, which is important. Now, we need a cooldown. Elite strats, yes indeed. Yes indeed. Well, talking about cooldown, did we actually have that on Unity? Because I don't remember. Let's just open that and check. So Unity, where is it? There's been some time that I haven't opened Unity, so let's just check that. So this one, Unity, Droian. I see there's some things in here that I do not approve. This connected stupid thing. Well, we are not gonna use Unity anymore, so it doesn't matter, but yeah, I do not need my game to be connected to the cloud, thank you very much. Thankfully, we are on Godot now, so no bullshits attached, you know? And obviously, one of the things that we can talk about while we wait for Unity, because, you know, Unity, it's one of the pros of using Godot. Yes, indeed. One of the things of using Godot is flipping fast. I only need like 3 seconds to open the project, if that much, and to open the project on Unity, well, as you can see, it's taking a lot of time. How's the engine change been going? Pretty good, actually. We have encountered 1 or 2 bugs in here and there, you know. I actually have explained one bug some minutes ago of the things that if I attach the projectile and just flip the thing around, it will not be in the correct place. Well, I have updated for the 4.2 stable, so maybe that's fixed. We can just, you know, test that real quick. Let's just see that. Okay, that's create a bug. So maybe let's just not mess around, you know? Yeah, let's just not break the game right now. So equals to ammo max. But yeah, the bug that I was talking about or referring is if we have a node child of another node and we inverse the scale on X, basically we will invert the position of the projectile itself. But if I did it in code, and if we invert the scale in code, it wouldn't invert the position on X of the node child. And because of that bug, I have made a workaround in here, but you know, fixing bugs as usual. So yeah, damn, I didn't realize Unity was so heavy. Yes, indeed. And while we are talking, I'm still waiting for the damn game to open. What's going on, Unity? Why are you taking so long to open the freaking game? It's usually not take this long. Maybe it's something to do with the stupid cloud thing that I'm seeing right now with this bullshit in here. I hope not. I really hope not. But it's taking long to open the freaking project. Yep, that's one of the pros of using Godot. It's, you know, not waiting for a project to open. And if I change something in code, I also don't wait for it to compile. And those little things, you know, that always annoyed me while I used to use Unity. What prompted the change their shitty new policies? I will say greed. Maybe. Probably that, you know. The stock market has not been kind lately, you know. It had that huge spike 2 years ago because of the people being stuck at home, you know. And everything technology related spiked because of that. But as everything goes up, it needs to come down again, and you know, firing people, trying to make money in other ways, you know. And one of the ways was basically to introduce per install fee, and people got really mad, you know. And well, they obviously revert that. The CEO was basically the same CEO from EA, you know. It was not the same, it was the previous EA CEO that introduced the concept of microtransactions in that company. The same man that told if someone is playing for hours on a game, they wouldn't mind to pay to reload their weapon. And those microtransaction ideas, you know. And well, it came out with a brilliant idea of paying per install. And one of those ideas, basically, well, they can do that, you know, but they retroactively wanted to apply that. So let's just say we were developing a game for 2 years on Unity, and we will actually be releasing that game. They could decide, no, now you are not only paying the license, the pro license on Unity to get rid of the Unity splash screen, you now are going to pay for an install fee. And obviously that didn't take into account the piracy installations and the double installations of a person, or multiple installations of a person for that matter. You know, it was something, well, we can see that on our backend, so trust me, we are going to track that, and we are going to bill your company accordingly. And obviously developers got really mad with that decision. That wasn't the reason that we got to Godot, though, because they backtracked that decision. So the new Unity has that thing, but you can choose between that, so the per install fee, or 4%, so you can actually choose how you pay that fee. And the installation amount is not done by them, it's actually done by you. So let's just say you have sold the game 100,000 copies of your game, you can just say there was 100,000 installs of our game, and just pay the fee with that. You know, the thing is, they tried to pull a rug on us, and the trust was kinda broken. I already was developing Xaria on Godot, and you know, to come our small studio into one single engine, which is Godot, a free open source that's never going to have the same problems of Unity. Yes, it may be lacking one or another feature, but you know, it has every bells and whistles that we need to create our game. So yeah. Crazy how a company can be so out of touch with their own market. I wouldn't say the company per se, because the developers of inside that company are very passionate and they really know their customers. But that's, well, let's just say the developers, not the management staff and CEOs and those who are more preoccupied with shareholders and not their actually clients, you know? But god damn it, why the hell why don't you open the freaking project? Is Unity broken? Well, they are probably listening to me right now and they are keeping me from opening the project. Really? Why don't you open the freaking project? Why are you taking so long? It's my computer? The CEO who decided that has been removed right now. Yes, indeed. He is now gone. Yeah. He fired himself, but I have a suspicion that he was, you know, Armstrong to, you know, is Armstrong the term? You know? The term that you pull the arm behind the person and force it to do something, you know? Well, let's just say he fired himself, but I believe someone told him to fire himself, otherwise he would have even bigger problems, you know? Unity sulking? Yes, it is. They are trying to mitigate the problem right now. They have another CEO and they have closed the Weta Digital. They have bought for 1.2 billion or 1.6 billion. Well, they have spent a lot of dollar signs in a stupid project 2 years ago that has come, you know, nowhere. I understand the decision back then. They are trying to compete with the cinema division of Unreal Engine. They basically were trying to become an Unreal Engine competitor, but you know, they have burned a lot of money and now they are firing a lot of people and making a lot of dumb decisions. Well, it is everything that has been touched by stock markets and investors and whatnot. That's why we tend to stay away from that, you know? We are not making any money, we don't have investors, we don't have a public traded company. Right now we are just a small group of 4 people trying to make a game, you know? And the great thing about that is we don't have anyone telling us to place microtransactions and DLC or paid or skins DLC, those type of stupid microtransactions and whatnot, you know? We are just trying to make a game. A true, complete, great game, you know? Not early access, stupid, full of bugs, release games and whatnot, you know? We are trying to focus on the game. It's one of the company mottos. And I'm saying this, it's not opening the project, so I'm just gonna quit. And, well, Unity is not opening the project, so let's just continue with the thing. I've just quit that thing. I don't know what it's not opening, I can check that out later. So, where was I? Yes, trying to make a small delay, a counter to not spam the amount of bullets that we can shoot at a time, you know? So, what we want to avoid is basically the spamming of bullets, you know, projectiles. We want to, like, be able to shoot one, pass a few seconds and then be able to shoot another and shoot another. When I say seconds, I say milliseconds because, you know, I don't want to be 5 seconds until you can shoot again. That will be, you know, we are not a tank. We don't need that time of cooldown time, you know. Much better to follow your passion like you guys are doing. Thank you. you know, we are trying to develop the games that we are actually want to play and not, you know, trying to be greedy in here and developing a game just to make money. We are trying to develop a game just to have fun, you know, have a fun product and not, well, we are trying to create a great project, not extracting the maximum amount of money out of gamers, you know. We want to create a great game, not a great money-making product. So let's just try to see how can we do the cooldown thing. So basically we need to create another variable. Let's just do that. So cooldown timer, cooldown timer, is this the correct term that I should use in here? Yeah, why not? So I don't want this to be ints, I want this to be floats. And if I do that, I do a cooldown, because why not? And this float, well, we can use a 3 second, because why not? 3 seconds, that's actually a lot. Let's just say 1 second. Yeah, something like that. Now, how we can do that? I believe the Delta version in here. Let's just do a simple debug. I want to see this. So print Delta. I want to know this. This is what I want to know. Excellent. And now I have this. What I can do is getting the cooldown plus equals to delta and then print cooldown. Let's just see. 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on, so forth. So you are actually learning a very cool trick. So basically we have a counter using the delta. For those who have joined very, let's just say right now, I have explained what the delta was before, and I will do that right now again. So basically the delta is basically a variable that shows the amount of time between the previous frame and the next. So basically the process is it will calculate is basically the execution of the programming instructions done per frame. So basically the process calculates a tick and the tick creates a frame, and the time between the creation of one frame to the next is indicated by the delta. So basically the time passed between one frame and the next is indicated in this delta. So we can basically pick this delta and add the value between one frame to the next, and it will get basically a crude, really correct timer. And you can ask how this can work. So basically, if this is literally reading the time between one frame and the next, if we add all those timers together, it will basically create a timer, which is pretty cool. So we can just pick this in here, you know. Let's just leave this in here, because why not? This is going to be the cooldown for our fire function. And so we can basically create another condition in here. So let's just say we can fire if we press the fire button, if we have ammunition, and if the cooldown value is higher than the cooldown timer. Probably this value should be swapped. Or let's just give it another name. Because this... I mean, I'm the only programmer in the team right now, but I don't want to create this code confusing, you know? Yeah, let's just do this. Because it makes sense. It makes more sense. So basically it makes more sense to be the cooldown is the value that we want, the amount of cooldown that we want, and this is basically the timer. This doesn't need to be the same value. Or needs it? Yeah, it's... well, it's fine. Doesn't matter in this case. What matters is the cooldown always fires up. Then I want to swap this in here. Basically, it needs to be like that. Why aren't you doing... well, let's just not dwell too much in this. So I want this to be the timer now, because this is the timer that we want. Now, why are you doing this to me? So this is a float, cooldown, there you go. We want this timer. Well, my control button was being broken for some reason. Oh, I see. I need a new keyboard. Fantastic. Well, keyboard problems aside, we have our cooldown timer. Let's go down in here. We have the cooldown timer being calculated by the delta, so being added as the delta. Now we need a condition in here. If the cooldown timer is higher than the actual cooldown value, then we should be able to fire. We don't only want to decrease one ammo, we actually want to make our cooldown value 0 as well. And this is basically going to set up the amount of cooldown to the amount that we have set up, which is per second. So 1 is basically 1 second. Save, play, and now we can only fire 1 projectile per second. So I can just pop up this. Can I pop this thing in here so we can just see the seconds go by? So I believe you can count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we can now, adjust the cooldown as well. So you need to connect the computer to your brain so you can type mentally. That will be fantastic. That will be fantastic. I believe there's stuff already made to read your brainwaves to translate those brainwaves to inputs. That already exists. Actually, Elon Musk is trying to implement a chip that I believe has been approved to actually be put on humans to help humans to translate their brainwaves into movement on paraplegic people. But yeah, in the future we might live on cyberpunk things and have chips implemented in our heads and do all kinds of stuff. Not right now though. Right now we are just, well, having to input on our freaking keyboards. So, 1 shoot per second. I don't think that's pretty fun, so let's just do something like this. So this means we can shoot 3 projectiles every second. Maybe Elon is trying to get that stuff ready for 2077 to match the game. I don't believe so. I don't believe any date regards Elon Musk. And you shouldn't too. If we trust the man, by now we will be driving self-driving cars by now, and we don't have that. We have cars that can stay in a lane in highways. So we don't have cars that we literally enter inside the car, click a button and it takes us somewhere. In some regions, some autopilots can do that, but not everywhere, Now, this... So, we have our cooldown to keep us from spamming all our bullets. Let's just go on, shall we? So, we have our cooldown, we have the amount of ammo that we can use, we have projectiles that go in whatever direction we want. Now what do we need? Well, I have something in here commented, you see? So, I'm going to do this and uncomment this code. Why, you may ask? So basically, I'm going to implement the mine feature. So if I press down, supposedly if I press down, I should supposedly not fire anything. So I'm pressing down, but I still shoot projectiles. Oh, I see. We are pressing this and we also need this. So is action just press it? This is the problem. This is the problem. I don't want just press it. I want press it. And now, if I don't press down, I can shoot. But if I press down and click to shoot, nothing comes out. But if I leave that, there you go. Now you may wonder, I didn't see anything. Yes, indeed, that actually was the point. So I was trying to shoot, but because I was pressing down, nothing happened. And it is in here, this code, that I'm going to create our mines. Yes, indeed, so it's mine time. Let's create it. So, where we have that in here? We have this in here, a spreadsheet. And in this spreadsheet we have a mine. Now, the mine will be basically the same thing as the projectile that we have created in here. The only difference is it's not gonna move. It's not gonna move. So I have the projectile and I have this in here. I want this to be an export. So basically I want this to be an export so we can change it. And so in our projectile we have the 300. But if I use the same script for the mines, I can change the speed to be 0 and then the mine will not move. Excellent. Big brain. So let's just do it, you know. We just need to duplicate this thing and call it mine. So we have a projectile and we have a mine. Let's open it. Now the mine has the projectile node, which we are going to change to mine because it doesn't matter too much. Well, let's just confirm it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, there's not a problem in here. Fantastic. So the mine. We have a mine in here. We have an animated sprite that we want to change. This needs to be changed. But right now, I think that I want to change its speed. The speed should be 0. We don't want this object to move. That's one thing. We want the object to have a collision, obviously. And this is something that we don't want. So the dead, we can keep it. It's the explosion. That's fine. That can stay as it is. The idle, although it needs to be different. Now we have this, which is the sprite. So let's just add that sprite in here. So we go to objects, mine sprite, sheet, open the thing. So we have 2 horizontal and 1 vertical, right? There you go. I have added these 2 frames. I now can delete these frames and I need to adjust this. So let's just use the trick that we have. Well, I could change on scale, but because we have the flipping here function, why not use it? So flip vertically, so flip on V, and we can actually move the sprite to here. So let's just go to transform, and well, on X is 0, and on Y let's just move it. Hey, let me move it like that. There you go. So something like this, you know, 5 to be precise. There you go. So this collider is where our mine is spawned. Great. Let's save the thing, go to the player, and let's see it. So, player script. Before we go to do that. Let's just make sure it's working correctly. So projectile, it's 300. Our mine is 0. Fantastic. Now, player. We are going to use this in here, this object. And these objects we are going to preload. And we are going to preload this with our mine, which we have in here. Now that we have these objects preload in our memory, we can replicate it. The exact same thing that we have done with the projectile. Now, let's go to the code. We basically need to do copy pasta, but instead of using projectile, we can just use the mine. So let's just, in here I have mine, let's just have the player selected because it's more useful to know the nodes in here and having attention. So in here we have the projectile out. This is the place where we shoot our projectile. We don't want that. We want this place to be, well, we want the mine to be not placed in here but down in here. This is the place that we want our mine to be released. So we are basically going to duplicate this, and this is going to be the mine out. Obviously the transform will be different, so the position on X will be 0 and on Y we want to position it something like here. Why not 14? Why not? Let's save it. Going back to script, and now let's just code. So basically we want this in here but different. So projectile copy, I want the mine instance. Position will be not projectile out but mine out. Set scale, animation sprite, get scale to rotate the thing. Then add child to the projectile copy to add the thing in here, and then reparent the thing. Yeah, the reparenting thing is just to fix the movement of our projectiles, which actually doesn't happen. Well, it's just so the projectiles doesn't get stuck in our character. So it's another bug fixing thing that I have to do about these reparenting shenanigans that you are seeing here. So bug fixing, you know. It could be probably fixed on this version of Godot 4.2. I don't know. Right now I'm not gonna test that because, you know, that's for future Kaado. We haven't been talking about that guy in the stream yet, so you know, he needs to have some work for him, you know? We can't forget about that guy. So Kaado 5 steps ahead on the bugs. No, that's actually steps back, because I have fixed the bug, but because we are now on a new version of Godot, I didn't test if the bug has been resolved, so we don't have these shenanigans in here. See? So the mine is in here. Maybe this code is confused for you, so let's just make it less confusing, shall we? So instead of having projectile, I will have mine in here, so it doesn't become confusing. There you go. Obviously this is unnecessary. I could pick up this code and make it behind and yada yada yada, you know. Unnecessary. Well, I'm just being lazy. Let's just do the proper thing and do it, shall we? I'm just being lazy. So let's just do it properly. So var copy. So we have a var copy. And this copy, we have an instance, position, the copy scale, this can be set outside. There's the reparenting thing. Alright, I see what's going on in here. So, we have a copy. Copy will be equals on mine instance. The position will be on mine out. And this is basically the scale for the copy. Set scale, get scale. And this is nothing useful in here, basically. And this can be set up there. There we go. The child thing can be done after. Let's just do that. There we go. And yeah, so we have the copy, we set the scale, which is... I actually don't need this in here on the mine itself. But why not? It's set up for the mine and for the projectile as well, so it doesn't matter. So basically if I shoot, there's the mine instance and the position is set up and then reparenting shenanigans. But if it's a projectile, then I can just, you know, use the projectile thing, position of the projectile, check the scale is already done in here, so it doesn't matter. This although does matter, so let's just get the position correctly, and it's reparenting shenanigans, that's already in here. So there you go, clean up the code, you know, optimizing, because why not, let's just not be lazy. I need to make a Kaado stream bingo and includes you leaving something for future Kaado and future Kaado reference in general. Well, that could be one game, that could also be translated into a drinking game every time I say future Kaado, although I don't say that very... Well, I was going to say I don't say that very often, but I actually tend to leave work for him often. And, well, yeah, it could be a bingo. Yes, what type of bugs or work or whatever thing that I tend to use for future Kaado. It could be a bug, it could be optimizing, it could be create a different feature, it could be cleaning up the code, it could be a plethora of things. Yeah. I also support the drinking game. Well, that as well is a cool thing. Although the drinking game will be pretty fun if it was with your streams. With the F word, you know? That will make someone drink and, well, drunk pretty fast. Well, with that out of the way, let's just test if the mine is created. It is not. I already got problems. Well, I see this cannot be in here. This needs to be put down in here. Let's see if this doesn't create more problems. Yeah. Now, if I create a mine, it immediately explodes. That's a problem. This is basically happening because, you know, we have a projectile, right? This projectile is being spawned outside of our character. But mine isn't, so we have a mine in here. So, well, we could fix this problem doing the same thing that we have made on projectile, making it going more to the side of our character so it doesn't touch the character. But there's another problem: touching the ground. If we are touching the ground, the projectile is basically going to detect that it's touching the ground and it's going to destroy. We don't want that. We are going to create a code on our projectile to basically ignore if we basically do a collision on the start when it is created. We are going to ignore its collision. That's basically what we want to do. So we need to do some codes. Right. So function. Well, we actually don't need the function ready. We actually don't need that. If it's active, let's just go with that. Obviously it's pooping out because I don't have a var in here yet, so var active. It starts with false because that's what I want. So this is basically not gonna destroy anymore. So it doesn't detect collisions anymore, which might become a problem. We don't want that. So a way to counteract that is basically on physics process. We can update its movement and we can also activate the thing. And so the collision is not going to be activated when it's created, but after it starts the thing in here. And so if I fire, now it disappears. It actually didn't fix the thing. God damn it. That is not going to be an easy fix, is it? That's annoying. That's very much annoying. So we have a dilemma in here. So what I thought that was going to be an easy fix, it is not an easy fix. I was trying to avoid this for a while, but I guess I cannot. So let's just focus something that engines tend to have. So we have collisions, and these collisions tend to be drawn with a box, like in here. Let's just open player so we can see it. This collision is basically an object, so collision shape. But engines have a pretty neat thing of separating collisions. Maybe with a time condition. Yes, that could work, but that will also maintain our problem. We don't want that. I'm going to use a different cool trick in here. Hopefully. Or at least I'm going to try. So, when we have collisions, like this one, our player, we have something that we can use, or at least I hope we have. So, something, let's just try to found this. So we have a visibility layer, the rendering layer in which this canvas item is. Maybe we don't have that in here. I hope we have. There you go, collision layer. This is exactly what I was trying to find in here. So we have collision layers. This is the thing that I wanted. So basically, I want to select layers that our object can't collide with. Right? So, the player is basically set up to collide with number 1, with the layer number 1. We also have our tile map. And the tile map, it's not this thing in here. Collision, where is the collision layers? Maybe the collision layers are set up, well, they are right in here. Collision layer, collision mask, there you go. So, our ground is this collision. You know, this in here, so it's 1. Our player is also 1. Now that's fine, that's completely fine. We can basically make every single projectile still colliding with 1. So if we see in here, so the projectile will be destroyed with 1. But to make a cool thing in here, let me see, or maybe it only goes once the end moves away. That could also be another solution, but wouldn't fix the problem that the mine will destroy itself if it was colliding with the ground, you know? And that's exactly that I'm going to fix. You see this mine in here, right? I'm going to set up the collision to only collide with the layer 2. You know? So this is only going to detect collisions on layer 2. And you can guess what I'm going to put on layer 2. Enemies. Posture check, thank you very much. So let's just try it. Down. There you go. We have a mine in here. It's not animated for some reason. Why are you not animated? Have I done a mistake in here? Animation looping. It's activated. Have I done something wrong in here? Maybe it needs to be on 2 seconds. Well, I can check animations whenever, you know. But the important thing is that our mine is not getting destroyed when I create it. But the bullets are. See? Now, it's not being placed on the correct, well, on the correct thing. So let's just move it up a little bit. So let's just go into our player, mine position instead of 14. Let's just do something like here, maybe like 10. Let's just try it. Oh yeah, that works. Yes, indeed. You know, I'm kind of a scientist myself. For those who got the reference. Well, we could make the mine even a little bit upper. Let's just say 8. Something like that. Yeah, that's probably fine in here. Now, another thing that I'm not liking it is the place where this mine is. As you can see, it's on the front of the... It's on the front of the tile set. We don't want that. So we are going to go to the animated sprite, and somewhere in here there's the Z index. Now, adding numbers will make us going on the front or on the back. That's the question. Now, I can try to do this, to use layers or ordering on the Z index. I may not do something in here. There's the Y sorting thing that I'm not gonna do. I can do ordering on the Z index. Maybe I do. Not on our player though. It's on our mine. Let's just ordering -1. This is just a crude fix, you know. There you go. It's just looking at you in there from the background. See? There's something annoying me, and that is because of this thing in here, but that doesn't matter. It's this, can you see this black line in here? I don't think it's that important though, but yeah. Something that we can polish later. So let's just make it 7 pixels up, just to make sure. Yeah, something like that. Love my Spidey reference, hell yeah, hell yeah. Now, this is not exploding, we don't like that. A way that I'm going to use to test that, so because this in here we have the collision, and this in here is only colliding with number 2, I can't forget that I also need to detect collisions on number 2 on our projectile as well. So, projectile, why it seems broken though? So it works fine in here. It's not working fine. God damn it. More bugs. Anyway, we have this mine. If I shoot the mine, it supposedly should destroy with the projectile, but it's not. Yeah, bugs. Should the projectile also be on layer 2? Well, I set up the projectile to be on layer 1 and 2, supposedly. I think. I don't think the visibility layer is the same thing as the collision layer. I thought this is the detection layer and the layer that is itself in it. But I might be wrong in this. I really might be wrong in this one. It's something to do on z-index, maybe? Maybe it is? Let's just check this. No, it shouldn't, because this is the sprite itself, not the colliders. The colliders is on 0, so no. But so if I have selected a collision, I have this in here, I have this in here, more priority and whatnot. Wait, maybe I understand what's going on. Maybe I understand what's going on. Because this is an area 2D, I can go through the thing and things that can go through things cannot detect themselves. Or not. Collision, object 2D. Disable mode, remove, static, keep active. I don't understand this. Gravity doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Collision, this matters, but I'm not understanding them. That's the thing. I have on layer 2. If I select them on layer 1, it's going to just explode. There's no way around it. You can see the animation running on the background. But if I don't, if they are not on this, let's just say mask, so just mask. Let's just see if they stay. So if I just let them mask, they still go off. But if I do layer, although, does it go off? It doesn't. And if I shoot, it does not thing in here as well. Alright, so if the mask thing in here is the one that detects the things, okay. But they are not being destroyed by my bullets. Although my bullets are being destroyed for some stupid reason. Okay. That kinda sounded... That sounded kinda philosophical, not gonna lie. To explode or not to explode? Yeah, I'm kind of a philosopher myself. Well, jokes apart, I'm kinda thinking how the hell I'm going to make this work. I see. This is the visible thing, but this in here is like that. So, why this is not detecting this? Maybe it's something I should research. Let's go open edge, because why not? So, put the shooty thing in layer 2 in all thingies? No, I shouldn't do that. So, the thing is, if I do that, it's not gonna explode in any of them, you know? That's not the point. Because if I do that, basically the detection thing is, see? The bullet is not detecting nothing. So this projectile needs to detect walls, right? So it should always detect walls, no matter what. Let's see if this thing doesn't detect walls. So it is on mask that detects things. There you go. So our projectile is detecting objects of mask 1 and 2. Now, and the projectile is the type 1, and it detects 1 and 2. This in here is of type 1 and only detects of 2. So if I do the projectile be the type of 2, yeah, it does not do the nothing. So let's just say Godot an area 2D defines a region of 2D spaces. In this space you can detect other collision object 2D nodes overlapping. Entering and exit. Areas also allow for overlapping local physics references. It didn't told me the thing. Maybe both of them should be on both. No, that doesn't work. Because it's going to detect the grounds and the player it's going to explode. That's what I'm not wanting. So basically, let's just show one thing in here. For example, I'm going to create a node to the... Where are you? Transform. Where are you, my friend? In here, let's just make a Ian. Because why not? Sprite. Maybe one thing like that. In here, we want an animation. And we want an Ian. Because why not? Vertical is 8. Right? There you go. We have an Ian in here. Now, I also want to add a collider. This in here needs to be a static body, rigid body, or character body. I'm going to select this to be a rigid body. So change the type of thing where I can do that. Change type. So rigid body. If I save it, now I can select, for example, this in here. There you go. We have a makeshift type of enemy in here created. You know? Something like that. There you go. Now, what I want in here, I want the collider, this collider in here. And let's just go in node, where is it? Collision. And I want this to be on 2 and 2 as well. If everything goes well, I have a collider in here. See? Now, this in here should explode if this falls on top of us. Let's just do a fast test in here. See? The mine has exploded, even though I can create one mine in here. If this thing happens to touch this thing, it explodes. So basically it's working as intended, I believe. It's kinda... I can't move the thing, although I know it's somewhat working. Because if I create a mine and this touch the mine... No, no, no! Go to the other side! God damn it. I want to test it. See? The mine has exploded with the enemy. See? I need to restart the thing again. If this thing touched the mine explodes. So basically, if I get on top of the thing and try to create mines, if the mine touched the Ian should, you know, kaboom the mine. Why this isn't easier to move around? Can I do something about that? About way easier to move around, maybe I can just make the mast like 0.1 or something like that. Well, it doesn't matter. What matters is the mine explodes with the touch of this thing. However, it doesn't touch if I fire a projectile at it, which is a shame. And I believe it's because this doesn't have a collider, or this doesn't have a collider in it. The problem is, if I add a collider in this thing, it will give a problem. So I can just do this here, because why not? So let's just... Can we be cheekies? Because I wanted the ability of an area 2D to be detectable by another area 2D. That was the thing, that was the problem. Alternatively, you can give it really low gravity so that, yeah, we can do that. So just to test things out. Yeah, this is just a test thing. It's nothing important, you know? Because if I do that, and, you know, say the bomb explodes, it doesn't stay there whatsoever. Boom. See? It explodes. And I can even set this thing even more backwards so we can see the explosion, like -2, for example. Boom. See? It exploded. So it's detecting collisions with enemy type things. Well, in the layers that we have set up this thing. It's working. It's just not exploding with our bullets. And actually, do we actually want that? Just asking chat. Do we want our mines to be exploded by projectiles or not? Because that's a big question to do. Because maybe we could want the mines to be exploded by our bullets. That could be an interesting mechanic. Yeah, maybe let's just say the player should be careful where he places the mines and when he shoots. And if that's the case, could be fun for strategies. Well, if that's the case, let's just try see stuff in here. So we have rigid bodies, collision, so we have these things in here: rigid bodies, physics bodies, collision object 2D. So let's just see in here again. So we have this area 2D. Why is this broken? Why is this broken? Why is my website broken? It was really necessary for me to be able to read this. Come on, Godot, you can do better. Well, using area 2D, introduction, blah 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 blah, so can be detect other collision object 2D. And to be able to use a collision object 2D, but the thing is, I have a collision shape 2D. Collision object. That's what I want. What type of collision objects do we have? Inherited by area 2D and physics body 2D. So we have physics body 2D. Physics body 2D. But I can't create one with this. Because there's static body, animatable body, this can't be moved by external forces. When moved manually, it doesn't affect other bodies in its path. It doesn't affect other bodies in its path. Ooh, maybe is this what we want? And then we add another collision in here, so collision shape. We made it a circle, smaller than the one in there. There you go. And this whole thing in here collision is only on 2. There you go. Now if I delete this dude from here, you can go away. I don't need you anymore. So you can do anything. You are a programmer. You are a god. Well, programmers are gods of the games they made. In a sense. In a sense. Now the projectiles are even worse. I haven't messed around the projectiles. Why are you doing this? Because this stupid thing is colliding with this stupid thing and activating. Yes, there is a limit of the number. I also believe there is a limit of how many mines the player could have out. Like if it's a max 3, putting a fourth one will delete the first. Yes, there is a limit like that I'm going to use using the thing, the holder, this holder, you know, the projectile holder. I'm going to do something for that. Don't worry. Now I'm just was thinking about the explosion in here. So because I have the projectile, and this is on layer 2, but because this detects collision on layer 2, I don't know any reason for this to be on layer 2, but this detects things on layer 2. And that's exactly why this thing explodes. Yep. But if I just do this, so I separated the collisions, now, do you want this like that? That's a big question. Because I can create a mine on the ground, and if I shoot, it will destroy the mine, but not the projectile. That's a thing. But the thing that I was thinking was basically destroying the mine and the projectile as well, but because there's these stupid things in here, it is a shame that the collision detection doesn't detect area to this as well. Because if they did, the problem would be easy to resolve. And body entered. Oh! Maybe I was being a little dumb. Maybe we don't need this stupid thing in here. You see? Maybe we just need this in here. Area shape index. And with this we can just call this thing in here. See? Now, why this has a signal? Oh, for the death thing. Is it? Oh, for this in here. Exactly. Now we are on ad breaks. And while we are on the freaking ad, why not talk about our Discord? Because why not? For those who have ad blocks, you know, and are not seeing the Twitch ad, because we have an automatic Twitch ad for, you know, not to be buried on the algorithm, because we all know Twitch will hide streams that don't have ads enabled, unfortunately, because I would rather not have ads while we are growing. But you know, while the ad runs around, I talk about the Discord channel that we have, you know, link down in the description, obviously, and you know, you can join us there and say hi if you have any question that you'll love to ask us, you know. Obviously you can ask it on the chat on stream, but if you are watching this on a VOD on YouTube, or you want to ask us something later, you are always welcome to join us there, you know. And so Yeah, I'm going to kindly ask people to start searching for a raid target because I'm always fixing the problem that we have in hand. Yeah. So, this in here, we have our projectile. Projectile is on layer 1 and mask 1. Fine with that. We want also to detect things on mask 2. And our mine will only detect things on mask 2, but is a thing on mask 1 as well. So let me just see this in here. Maybe this in here is the correct thing to do? Yeah. Let's see if this fixes our problem, shall we? So, this is still having a bug. God damn it. We still have our mine, and if we shoot our mine, our bullet explodes, but not the mine itself. There must be a reason for it. Because this triggers the code, but this does not trigger the code for some reason. Well, this becomes 0, obviously, and stops moving, but because this enters this thing, this should also detect this thing as entered in there as well. Unless the layers are wrong. Something like that. Let's see. Well, let's just, you know, see this in here. There's a signal in here, there's a signal. That's fine by me. I don't know if this thing is probably linked correctly. Let's just check that. Exactly as I suspected. This in here is connected properly. This in here is not. If you see in here, there's none. This is the problem in here. That's the problem. How does one do this? I want to connect this. There you go. Now maybe the problem has been fixed. There you go. Fantastic. So our bullets explode on the walls. If I plant a mine on the ground and move it, it doesn't explode. But if I accidentally shoot a bullet and touch the mine, it will explode. Both of them, obviously, because the bullet that we shoot touched the mine. Obviously, Ian is a very intelligent Roomba, and if he places the mine in there, and if he touches the mine, he is intelligent enough to avoid the mine. But if he accidentally shoots something towards the mine will explode. Obviously, with the projectile as well. Fantastic. Problem fixed. Yeah. Obviously, I haven't ignored the other bug that we have seen in there. I'm just gonna push the mine position spawn just a little bit up. Just a little bit up so we can properly say something like that. There you go. It explodes. That's fine. That's what we wanted. Excellent. I may change the thing in there so the explosion go on the z-axis on the front. That's for polishing. But what I want to mess around is this in here. There's a problem in here. The problem is when I spawn the thing in here, the projectile tend to explode. That's a big problem. That's a huge problem. A problem that I intend to fix. How am I going to do that though? Let's just do this. This in here, this in here. Okay, if I put the projectile in here, and obviously because it's in there now it needs to be changed in here. Let's just do this. What happens if I do that? Yeah, it still explodes on that place. That's a problem. That's a problem indeed. So let's just do a print. This print can be the copy position, because why not? This can be done after I do this. Let's just check this in here. So 18.6, and if I do this, 18.6 as well. If I do this, it's 18.6 as well. And it doesn't change. It doesn't change a bit. That's kinda sad though. That's kinda sad. I don't like that. Let's just do something like this. Doesn't need, you know, it's 18.6. There you go in here. Oh, this thing in here, this is the problem in here. I'm not doing this stupid thing. And the thing is, the scale is not being affected because I only set the scale down here. That's the problem. That's the problem in here. Now I can just, instead of being it copy get scale, I can just do this get scale, you know. And if this is true, we can do actually I don't need that. What I actually need, the position on X in here, this is minus 32, right? Why is that? Because I go 18 and 18 again. So if I multiply this by the scale itself, so let's just do this. So this in here will be equals to the position itself. Can I multiply it and just do that? Because the scale it's going to be or 1 or minus 1. 1 or minus 1. So if 18 now is minus 18, I'm kind of a genius myself. See? Fix. What a great way to end the stream. Not typically a Kaado stream ending with a bug. We actually fixed the damn bug before we ended the stream. Although, can we find a bug in here? Just really quick. I don't know, because it's probably working fine, just fine. Well, if you consider the animation play on the background a bug, there you go, it's your thing. But features can't contribute with that. So before we wrap things up, don't forget that we have other socials that you can join us. We have, well, I can actually show them. All the links are in the description, but let's open it on our browser, shall we? UGS.pt. I'm opening it on Edge just so I don't dox myself with the Chrome, because I tend to use Chrome. I know I shouldn't, because Google is trying to go evil for some reason, but well, there's also Mozilla, but I don't have it installed. So UGS.pt, you can see our team description about ourselves. This is me, Kaado, yours truly, as well as our other beautiful people. Our Rick is also actually going to stream. No, he's not going to stream next week. Well, actually yes, I almost forgot about that. We have a special stream next week, where we are going to be all present in that. I almost forgot about that. So yeah, we have a special Christmas stream. So yeah, follow us to see that. It might involve dice and critical numbers. Yes, indeed. There is some. Have we published that already, Martin Girl? Because yes, I believe we have talking that on our backend, but I don't think that we have. I don't remember if we have announced that already or not. But there you go. Special stream next Friday. Yes, indeed. Before we go on Christmas vacation. So stay tuned on that, and obviously don't forget we also stream on Wednesdays when we do some Let's Plays as well. I don't... maybe it's Roxy, maybe it's Satan streaming next Wednesday. I don't remember. Well, you can also see who's going to stream on our socials. So the links are on our website in here. We also have the links down in the description as well, so you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok for some random videos, on Twitter, aka X, because you know evil overlords like to change names and whatnot. And as well, if you want to see or rewatch our stream on YouTube as well, we also publish the stream videos there too. I hope you have enjoyed the stream, and again, don't forget to join us next Friday on a special stream. And to wrap things up, see you next time. Bye bye. And yes, I have noticed the Bongo Cat is gone for some reason. Obviously not ending a stream with without a flaw. Let's just say that. Enjoy the raid.